New day, new broken mechanic in the game, and this time it's about shooting. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like FC25 cannot go 1 week without a new broken mechanic. This time it's shooting, and I know for a fact that you have conceded at least one 40-yard Trivela. Yup, long Trivelas are literally broken at the moment, but you have to follow some steps so you can do it in game. So this video, lads, is going to be a shooting tutorial. I'm going to show you the best methods that you can use for finishing as well as long shots. With that being said, let's jump straight into the video. FC25 is here, and of course the most important thing about the game is coins. Don't you worry about the cost anymore. Check out lootbar.gg. Lootbar is the cheapest and the safest platform on the market. They are 10% cheaper than all other platforms, and another 8% off to use my promotional code, and another 5% extra coins. Buying 1 million coins in-game will cost you 10 times more than Lootbar. Many huge content creators are using Lootbar, and not only them, many users stick with Lootbar as well. Fast delivery within 30 minutes. Don't forget to use my code Y5K for extra 8% off. Looking for coins? There is not a better platform other than Lootbar. And now let's jump straight into the video and start things up with the new broken long shot Trivela. Before you say it's not new, in FC24 the Trivela shots were broken. Yes, they were, but not as broken as this. Ladies and gentlemen, you can literally score a 40-yard long shot even if you have got a 75 rated player, and you can concede one as well. Let's talk in game on how to do it. First thing first, you have to be using a player who has got the Trivela playstyle, the normal playstyle, or of course the Trivela playstyle plus. If you don't have a player who has got the Trivela playstyle, won't work at all. You have to be using a player who has got the Trivela playstyle. Second thing, in game, as we all know, if you want to perform a Trivela, you have to be holding the L2 button on PlayStation or the LT button on Xbox. And then when you want to shoot, you have to use a lot of power on the shot, because if you put little power on the shot, it's going to be a flare shot. You have to put a lot of power on the shot, so it will be a Trivela shot. And when you want to perform a Trivela in game, first thing first, of course, it have to be with the strong foot of your player. Second thing, like I said, you have to put a lot of power on the shot. Looking back at all the clips that I have scored it, I was using more than 3 bars of power. When you get used to it, you won't be thinking about how much power you have to put on the shot, because your mind will automatically put the right power on the shot. And third thing, you have to be coming from the wing. You have to be cutting inside, not moving straight with your player. No, you have to be cutting from the wing. Either if you have got a right-footed player, you are cutting from the right of the pitch, or if you have got a left-footed player, that time you have to be cutting from the left. And let me give you some clips as an example. As you can see, I'm going for a counter-attack. Son play the through pass to Hansen, and now when I'm with Hansen, I slightly turn to the left because I was going for the Trivela shot. And you need your player slightly turning to the left if you are using a right-footed player, or to the right if you are using a left-footed player. Basically, you don't want him to be moving straight. And then as you can see with Hansen, that's like 35 or 40 yards out. I was holding the L2 button, put around 3.5 bars of power, and gone with a long Trivela with Hansen, and of course it's gonna be an easy goal. Let me give you another example, this time with a left-footed player. I'm with Santos, a player who is 80 rated, but he has got a Trivela play style, so I know for a fact he's gonna pull it off. Before I shoot, as you can see, I moved him to the right a little, because like I said, you don't want your player moving straight, you want him to be moving slightly to the right or to the left. And then I hold on the L2 LT button, gone with a Trivela, 3.5 bars of power again, and it's a goal with an 80 rated player. Ladies and gentlemen, it's literally broken in game. And to be honest with you, I discovered this in Division Rivals. Everyone, literally everyone is spamming it on Division Rivals, which is absolutely disgusting. I'm not saying you should be using it, but if your opponent is using it against you, why not you use it as well? Because literally you can score every single long Trivela that you take. It's literally broken in game, and EA, in my opinion, have to do something about it. If you ask me, I think it's worse than the L1 speed boost, because with the L1 speed boost you can at least try to defend against it, but this long Trivela, you can absolutely do nothing about it. If your opponent is going with a long Trivela with a player who has got the Trivela play style, you know it's going to be a goal 100%. And of course it's gonna be better and better if you have got a player who has got the Trivela play style plus. Not only that, also ladies and gentlemen, also about the Trivela, it's an absolutely great way to finish inside the box. In my opinion, whenever you can finish with a Trivela, do it. Even if you have got a player who doesn't have the Trivela play style inside the box, if you are using a player who has got good finishing in game, he can finish with a Trivela without the Trivela play style. And finishing with a Trivela have been always a great way to finish in the game. But to perform it, you have to be coming from the wing, or at least just moving slightly to the right or to the left with your players, so he can perform it with his strong foot, take your time learning the Trivela shots because it's 100% worth it in FC25. Now let's move on into another way to finish inside the box, or even if you want to go for long shots, that's gonna be the finesse, especially with a player who has got the finesse playstyle plus. As we all know, the finesse playstyle plus has been on the top of the tier of playstyles since FC24, and now in FC25 it's still as good as it was in FC24, and it's literally one of the best ways to finish or to go with a long shot. Now I think most of you have already learned on how to go with a long finish shot, but if you haven't already, let me show you. Let's take some clips as an example so I can show you how to finish with a long finish shot in game. First clip, as you can see, I'm with Son, a player who has got the finesse playstyle plus, and quick reminder ladies and gentlemen, get yourself a player who has got the finesse playstyle plus in your team. You need at least one player in your team who has got the finesse playstyle plus because it is the best way to go for a long shot and to finish in FC25. It's gonna be a huge plus on your team. Now let's get back into the example, and as you can see, when I take the first touch with Son, and before I took the long finish shot with him, I made him face up and slightly left. Basically, you don't want him to be facing the goal straight. Basically, you want him to be facing the corner flag, the far corner flag. You want him to be moving on a 90 degree, basically facing the far corner flag. That time, whenever you go with a long finish shot with a player who has got the finesse playstyle plus, trust me, you're gonna score it. And this is a method that I do every time I want to go with a long finesse. Make your player face the far corner flag, just like you are moving to the far corner flag. And then of course with a finesse, you have to be holding the R1 button on PlayStation or the RB button on Xbox, and again you have to put a lot of power on the shot if you want to go for a long shot. And for the long finish shots, I would say you have to put 3 to 3.5 bars of power. And if you use the method that I told you, make your player face the far corner flag, you're gonna score every time you want to. And of course, as we all know, the finesse shots are absolutely insane way to finish as well. In my opinion, in your team, you have to be using at least a player who has got the finesse playstyle plus. Now, the normal finesse is absolutely great as well, but it doesn't work for long finish shots. It does work if you wanna finish inside the box with a finesse shot, but for a long shot, the normal finesse playstyle won't work. Now, moving on into a really important thing in the game, and that's gonna be time finishing. Ladies and gentlemen, I have mentioned this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Time finishing is really important in FC25. In FC24 it wasn't that important. You can finish every time without time finishing, but trust me when I say this here, if you want to take your game to the next level, if you want to level up, you have to be using time finishing. It's really important, and you will be finishing everything. Now, to perform time finishing in game, first thing first, you have to go to settings and turn on the time finishing. Second thing, if you have never used it before, you want to learn it now, you can go to the trainer, turn on the trainer and turn on time finishing. With that, every time you shoot, you're gonna have that little bar above your player's head. It will help you on how to green time finish. When you get used to it, you don't need that bar anymore. And to perform it in game, you have to shoot twice. You have to press the shooting button twice. The first one is gonna be the amount of the bar that you want to use with your player, and the second one, you have to press it just before your player shoots. So the first one is gonna be the amount of the bar that you want to shoot, and the second one just before your player shoots. If you use it after your player shoots, there's no problem at all. But the most important thing about time finishing, don't you use it before your player actually shoots. Use it when your player is shooting, where he's just about to shoot, and that gives you the green time finish, or use it after your player shoot, and that gives you the white time finishing. With that, it's gonna be a normal shot just like without the time finishing, but if you use it before your player actually shoot, that time it's gonna be the red, and you don't want to see that in game. So the most important thing about time finishing, if you want to learn it, use it when your player is about to shoot or after your player shoot. The most important thing about it, don't use it before your player shoots. And like I said, if you want to take your gameplay to the next level in FC25, time finishing is really important. And when you start using it in game, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You're gonna see the difference without time finishing and with time finishing. You're gonna see yourself finishing everything with time finishing. Especially if you learn the green time finishing, that time you will be an absolutely monster when it comes to finishing. With that being said, lads, these were my tips on how to finish in FC25. Of course, we have got the new broken long Trivelas. With that being said, lads, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.